We turn now to the fast-moving developments involving the alleged 8th attacker. We showed you that new picture of the suspect. Tonight, we have learned authorities believe he rented a house right here in the suburbs of Paris and may have been at a hotel right near the soccer stadium the night before the attack. And now we've learned he's not the only fugitive. Authorities confirming they are searching for a second man on the run who could be the 9th attacker. Tonight, we take you out on their trail, retracing their final steps before the attacks. Tonight, there is mounting concern amid the urgent manhunt for Salah Abdeslam, the suspected 8th attacker in the Paris attacks, still on the run. Police issuing these two new photos of him tonight. He allegedly fired on innocent people in restaurants and cafes. Authorities warning he's dangerous not to intervene, well aware that the rest of the attackers were wearing identical suicide belts and that he might be willing to die too. One of his brothers, Brahim, also a suspected attacker, blew himself up. A third brother was detained, questioned, and then released. And tonight, he's made a very public plea to the one brother who is still alive to turn himself in, saying he and his parents had no idea the carnage the two brothers were plotting or where his fugitive brother is. Tonight, authorities retracing the attacker's steps in the final days and final hours before the attacks. Today, outside Paris, we went to the scene where investigators believe those two brothers and the other attackers might have been the night before the attack. You can see the activity here as well. It's believed the 8th attacker might have rented 2 rooms here at this hotel right over my shoulder. We are not far from the soccer stadium where the terror began to unfold last Friday night, and it's believed the attackers might have been staying here in the nights leading up to the attacks. And while authorities won't confirm they were in those rooms, today French media reporting they honed in on rooms 311 and 312. Tonight, new images of what they found. Beds stripped, the mattresses pulled off the beds after police searched the rooms. Analyzing the evidence, reportedly confiscating the hard drive from the computer in the lobby. There were no security cameras at the hotel. Investigators also believe that attacker on the run had rented this home in the weeks before with his brother right outside Paris in the suburb of Bobigny, believed to have been strategizing under the radar. Investigators have been here to this Paris suburb. You can see the police presence, the school across the street, kids getting out right now. And this is the building where it's believed the terrorists were renting 2 apartments. In fact, the landlord reportedly saying that they were calm, dressed well, and that they said they were here on business from Belgium. Across the street, as school let out late today, we talked to this mother picking up her child. Do you know they were staying here in this building? We are all stunned. We have learned everything on TV, she told us. We're just here to pick up the children and try to move on with a normal life. And this grandmother here for pickup too. Shocked. And tonight, as they search for that 8th attacker, a new alert, asking the public to study this photo of one of the deceased bombers, looking for any information about who he might be. His body was found outside the stadium with this fake passport near him. Authorities suspect he used it to sneak into Europe, posing as a refugee. 24 hours after French President Hollande said we are at war with ISIS, tonight new airstrikes on ISIS in Syria. Overnight, this new video, the emergency anti-terror crackdown in and around Paris. 128 raids, mobilizing 115,000 extra troops. Teams of police driving through the streets of Paris, pounding on doors, dogs barking, police calling out. Inside, they pour over the home's electronics, handwritten notes, searching and in some cases arresting those inside. And police finding this car parked in Paris, sealing off the area around it, believing it could be connected to the attacks. While outside the Bataclan Theater, police on hand as workers in protective gear cleaned up the blood-stained sidewalks. Amid those images now emerging of concertgoers smiling just before the terror unfolded. The theater owners telling ABC News, no words are enough to express the magnitude of our grief. And 24 hours after we took you to the Eiffel Tower last night, lit up in blue, white, and red, today we learned it had been shut down again for a time, amid worries from the workers it could still be a target. Showing you just how tense this city remains.